Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this very quick and easy card. It's made using washi tape and it's very easy even for somebody like me who struggles with straight lines, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is. So to start off with, I'm going to show you, tell you the card pieces that we're going to be needing. Because I'm using the same washi tape, obviously I've got to keep the colours to the same colour scheme, but that's fine, I love this. Right, to start off with, you need a Whisper White card base which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4, scored and folded at 4 1/8, and in centimetres at 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored at 10.5 centimetres. Then you need 2 pieces of gold foil which measure 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And you will also need a piece of Whisper White for the circle background there, and that should be approximately 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches, which is 6.5 by 6.5. And then you need another piece of Whisper White for the joy, which is approximately 1 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches, which is 4 by 6.5 centimetres. And then you need a scrap of gold foil which is about 1 1/4 by 2 1/4, which is 3 by 5.5 centimetres. So to start off with, I am going to do the stamping and the heat embossing. So with my Embossing Buddy, I'm just going to wipe over both pieces, and I'm going to be using VersaMark, and both of the stamps I'm using are from the Cheers to the Year stamp set. So I'm going to be using this circle and the joy, and I'm going to be embossing it in gold. So let's get that ready, and then my heat tool. Right, so and then just stamp this in the middle of your piece of cardstock. How far down can I come? That's it. There we go. That one's good. Put that up there. Now joy. And again, just stamp that right in the centre. Both of these are going to be die cut, so that's doesn't matter if they're not straight or any details like that. Now I'm going to use my special tweezers, and this is my gold embossing powder. Okay, so that's nice and easy, no mess. There we go, nice, very easy. So nice not having to clear up any mess. Right, I've also got a little paintbrush here, because doing it my way I do finish up with a little pile of embossing powder like that. That's fine. That one's got a little bit. Right, I'm going to use my heat tool now, and I'm going to let it heat up for a few seconds, and then I'll come over to get this done. It won't take long. That magic never fails to entertain me. I love watching that happen. As soon as the embossing powder goes shiny, that's it. You don't need to do it any further. Now I am going to do the washi tape here, and I've also used some on the inside, and I've used part of a foil snowflake there as well. So that's one piece that's going to be for part of it, and that one's going to be just for two. Now what I do is, when I'm doing this, my grid paper is my very best friend, because I line this up on here, and you need some removable tape to hold your card in place. That is not a Stampin' Up product, I'm afraid, but you can use Tombow. Just put a little bit in a couple of places and then just keep touching it to remove some of the sticky from it. Right, now I'm going to make sure that the bottom edge and that edge are lining up with vertical and horizontal lines. In fact, let me bring that down a little bit so that I don't get my head in camera. Okay, so that one's straight down there. That's a horizontal. And just make sure the vertical is straight as well. Yes, that's good. Washi tape is nowhere near as strong as sellotape, so if you put it down on something you can pull it up, but don't just yank it up, because it's strong enough to be able to tear your cardstock. And also you can tear the edges. When I'm doing something like this, I really don't like tearing it, because you waste a lot of it, whereas if you're using scissors you can cut right close to the edge. So this first one, what I'm going to do, I've got a line that's coming across here, so I'm going to line the bottom of my washi tape up against the next line up. So that's going to leave me about 1/2 inch exposed at the bottom. Okay, so just going to put that down and hold it in place while I work this one out, my left hand over. Okay, and then I use scissors because I can get right close to the edge there and not waste too much. Now I'm leaving that line free, and I'm going to line up to that one there. Right, so I've lined up the left side, no, the right side, and I'm going over to the left side. There we go, and again I can cut right close to the edge. And I'm just going to work my way up, just leaving one complete line as a gap, which is 1/2 inch, and then cutting this off close to the edge. With the size of the cardstock I've given you, you will get 7 strips of washi tape, this washi tape, going up here, which is really lovely because you finish up with the same gap that you've got here up at the top there. This grid paper is an absolute boon for me. Especially when I'm trying to line something like this up. This technique you could also do using designer series paper, but that means you've got to cut your strips first and make sure they're all even, and then you've got to glue them in place there. Now if you're using removable tape like I am, I'm not sure you have to remove it off the back there because it's going to be stuck down, but I do try and remember to do that. Now these you could go down and just cut all the edges off, but again I like to just fold them over. Right, okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to do the same for this, but I'm only going to do the bottom two lines. So I'm lining up my horizontal line and then my vertical line. Right, leave the first line free and put my second one down. And again for the second line. And you could go a bit higher if you wanted to. There we go. Right, and then just cut or fold the ends. Oops. Make sure I haven't got any more of that removable tape anywhere. Right, okay, so first of all I'm going to put the quarter doily onto, no it's not a doily, I keep calling them doilies, foiled snowflake. So what I'm going to do is, let me show you on a complete doily snowflake. Oh, they are doilies really because snowflakes have only 8 points. Right, so right, yes you can see this. So what I tend to do is I cut a quarter off by cutting down that line there. Okay, so right the way from there, cut those bits in half, and then that one right the way down to the centre, and then the quarter across to there as well, which is what I've been doing on this one. Can you see that? Yeah, that's good. So now I'm going to be cutting along this line here. There we go. So I've still got one for a 4th card because I've made 3 of them. This is my 3rd one now. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Tombow, which is obviously the easiest glue to use when you're using these. And I'm just going to put it in a few strategic places. And I'm going very gently because obviously I don't want this leaking out because it's going on the inside of the card. It's nice where it's got the really thick pieces, but right at the points there it is not thick at all. but I do find that it's relatively easy to do this by using Tombow. Right, I think that's probably enough on there. Just having a look to see if there's any other thick parts, which I could just squeeze a little bit of Tombow in there. So that's going to be fine. Now I'm going to put it on here so that obviously is in the corner, but I want to do it so that I can just trim off the edges if necessary. But they should be both the same either side. Just make sure that's not sticky. Right. Just remind myself where I did put the glue. Oops. That's not clever. Right. There should have been a bit of glue on there and a little bit on there. And once you're happy that that is adhered down enough, turn it over and just cut off the edges. And on this side too. There we go. Yes, that looks good. Okay. So that's ready to go into the card. That's ready to go. I took the other doily out, didn't I? Snowflake. So I'm going to bring my big shot up, cut the two pieces out, die cut the two. And I really must clean my scissors as well. Right, so we've got 3 pieces to cut out, and the die sets that I'm using are from the layering ovals. I'm using the number 1 straight cut and also the number 1 of the scallops. That means those are the 2 smallest out of the whole lot. And then on the circles, this is the layering circles framelits. I'm using this one, which is what I call straight cut number 5. So it's a 5th size up, starting from the smallest one. I call my dies either straight cuts, which is that, or scallops. Right, so we'll do this one first, and that just needs to be placed in the centre rather. Looks as if I got that first time. And if you're doing a scrap, oops, that can go like that. This is the important one to make sure that you do get it straight. And it is jumping a little bit. Right, tilt that so that I can make sure I'm happy with it. Which I'm not at the moment. I think that's okay. Let's give it a go. So we have Joy. I would have liked to have used the stitched shape framelits for that, but the sizes just weren't playing ball with me. The stitches were either going straight through it, or it was making it so big it didn't actually fit on nicely with this. Right, so there's the 3 die cuts. Now it's just a question of putting the card together. So that really is very nice and easy, isn't it? Right, so let's do the front first. At this stage you can use any glue that you would like. Something like Fast Fuse would work brilliantly with this. And also our tear and tape would work nicely too. And put this onto the card front, or front of the card base rather. Had I thought of this design earlier, I would have been quite happy to do this as a mass-produced card for my Christmas card. Alright, now these two. Just make sure I get a little bit of glue on these two. That's where the tape has come over. It looks just white from here, I think. I know some people do die cut shapes out of their foil before they start layering, but it's something that I never do. Right, this is the back of the card. There we go, and now it's just a question of putting these bits together. So first of all I'm going to put the joy onto here. Then I'm going to be using dimensionals to put that onto the circle. I will leave that there for a minute because I want to put this on next. Now, if you have a pencil, what I do to get this nice and straight, I know there's 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the middle one is number 4. And then I think you've got to go in number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the middle one there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a circle. So I know that my circle there has got to go over that, and that's going to be right in the centre. Couldn't be easier, could it? So lucky with the width of that, and also the actual design. Made life absolutely so easy. Now all I'm going to do with this is I want to try and get some glue at the points here, but I'm not going to worry too much about this because we've got the circle going on it. I will put some glue on it, but I'm not going to worry about too much. So whenever I've used these foiled snowflakes even, it's always this little diamond bit that I try and get my glue onto, and I found that it works well holding the snowflake down. Right, now on these ones, go just underneath the first V, and that should hold everything down nicely without glue oozing out everywhere. Okay, so turn that over, and as well as making sure that I can see the pencil mark through that hole there, I make sure the pointy bits go straight up and straight to the sides as well. So where's my circle? That there. Then I make that straight up. Okay, so I'm making sure this is straight, that's straight, and this is coming down straight. Well, if these two are level, this must be coming down straight. Okay. Moving, quite mobile at the moment, but that's alright because I'm going to put lots of glue on here and it'll hold the rest down. No right or wrong way placing this, but what I do is I make sure that I've got the same amount of pattern coming out from the top here as I do on that one, and that one, and then I know it's more or less centered. And that's it there. And then just last of all, oh no, second to last, because we've got some pearls to add. Okay, now that end and that end comes to the outside of the gold embossing, and you know where your centre is. It's again so easy. It's almost as if this has been specially designed for people like me who struggle with straight lines. Come on, move it over a little bit. That's better. Right, now just make sure you're straight. Yep, I'm happy with that. So my pearls, I'm going to use two of the largest ones, and I like to put them either end so it looks as if that is a plaque on the wall. That's one and two. There we go. Yep, that's straight. So there we go, that's today's project. Card making doesn't get much easier than that, and I think it's quite a stunning card too. I hope you like it. As I say, it is the third one that I've made, all the same. Okay, so you've still got time to make these before Christmas. I know time is running out. Christmas is really close now. Really excited. I hope you give it a try. If you need to purchase any of the products, I'm afraid it is a bit late now for Christmas, but they are beautiful items for you to have. Even if you get them now, save them for next year. The washi tape is beautiful, comes in a set of 5 different rolls, different widths, and also these foil snowflakes. You could stock up on those for next year. This is my 4th packet, you probably know. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. So if you'd like to purchase any, there'll be a link in my shop, be a link for my shop in the box below. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave those in the box below. All the products that I've used and the measurements I will put in the box below, and if you would like to be notified every time I upload a new video, which is normally Wednesdays and Sundays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you'd like to give me a thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.